Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. Right, we coming off Passover. We are in the midst of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? And we work so hard to press towards setting off our old man and repenting and taking the blood and the body of the Lord, man, and changing ourselves, right? Definitely an important time. But this is not the end all be all. Now that you're in the midst of, in this feast day, right, this high holy day, this important event, what are you going to do now? Are you going to, hey, I did the work, I went and I traveled a great distance and I took the lamb, I drank of the blood, I ate the unleavened bread, hey, and I'm done. Now let's go back to the world. No, we can't do that. You have to continue to fight, right? To fight that old man every day, right? It's not over with. The fight continues. The race is still here. That grand prize is still not achieved yet. You have not received that crown, man, or that white stone. So you have to keep working and going to the level of pushing harder for this thing. Satan's work is not done. He's still seeking whom he may destroy. Satan is still here lurking to take you back to that dark place which you were from, man. Right? Taking you back to that old wicked man, old wicked woman that you once was. It's not over with. Every time you open your eyes, man, and you're still here in your captivity, you still have to fight every day. Right? But you should be killing that old man. That old man should be stomped down deep, 6 feet, better yet 12 feet in the grave, man. You shouldn't be practicing and doing the same things you once were doing. Yes, we understand that, just man falleth 7 times, man. But listen, we got to shed that thought, man. We got to get to the point to where we're striving to be perfect in the Lord, right? To do everything that we can to receive that everlasting life, that salvation that the Lord has promised us. So we got to kill that old man every day. Right, let's get a precept real quick. Let's go to the book Ephesians real quick. Ephesians 4 and verse 22, and it reads, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. Right, your old man is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, man. Those things that you were into in your past, man, you have to take that away. It was deceitful. It was deceiving you. It was taking you off the path of righteousness to receive the truth, the knowledge, and the understanding, and to reach your God. The Lord says sin has separated you between him and you, right? And you weren't able to reach your power source. But now you've been illuminated. You've been awakened. You've been able to get to that point to where you can reach your power, right? You can pray, which he hears you. Right, you can walk in the light. Right, you have to continue to beat down those wicked thoughts, those things that have ailed you in the past, those wicked friends, that wicked family. You have to mortify your members and cut off those things that are around you that are taking you away from your power, right, of this truth and the knowledge and the understanding. You can't get to a certain point and then begin to look behind you. Because once you get to looking behind you, man, you get caught up in that whirlwind of destruction, the things that enticed you, that look good, that may bring your flesh back to that subjection. Right? Let's get this precept real quick in the book of Luke, man, the classic. The book of Luke, chapter 17, and verse number 32. And it reads, remember Lot's wife. It's playing upon tables. We understand the story of Lot. That Lot was told by the angels that, hey, to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah, man, and run. And when you get out, don't look behind you, man, because it's going to be a great overthrow, a great judgment on this place, a great destruction. And if you look back, you can be subject to that destruction. But what happened to his wife? She started remembering all the things that she had, how she was set up good, all the things that she built and accumulated over time, right? And she started feeling that I got to leave all this stuff behind when I'm running. And she turned around, and what happened? She was destroyed, man. She was turned back into that pillar of salt, man. Right? Turned into a pillar of salt, rather. She was destroyed and still set up as a monument or an example today on how not to be. So the Lord said, remember Lot's wife, man. You have to press towards the mark and pay attention to what's in front of you, man. And don't worry about what's going on right in the world. Yeah, we're in the midst of unleavened bread. It's an example. It's something that, hey, we got to shed the leaven out of us, man. Get all that old man out of us, man. Right? And be reshaped and molded into a new creature in a Mashiach Yahushua. Right? Old things are passed away, man. All things are supposed to become new. Right? Let's get there real quick. Let me get there real quick. Right? It's the book. Right? Let's get there in 2 Corinthians. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, therefore, if any man be in a Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Right? So all things are supposed to become new within you. Right? You're renewed in the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua, shedding off that old man. Hey, not remembering what you used to do or how you used to be or how you used to move. Right? How you used to think. All the things you used to do. You have to be removed from those things. Hey, and become new in a Mashiach. But also remember the things that, hey, the times when you got illuminated, how you felt, how you fought. Remember your first love, right? And get back to that status, get back to that point to where, hey, man, I'm going to follow hard after Mashiach Yahushua. Even before that, you didn't know anything. But once you got and tapped into that light, man, hey, you was up here. You was moving in a pace to where, hey, there was no end. The excitement, the endurance, right? We have to remember those things, the former days, man, when we were illuminated, right? Let's get that precept real quick. It's a precept on that, and I believe Hebrews 10 at verse 32. It says, but call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction, man. You endured a great fight of affliction, man, in those days, man. Right? You fought all that you cut off that old man. You had to cut off those family members, man, those best friends you ran around, that old girlfriend or that old boyfriend, husband or wife, whatever it may have you. Right? You remember those former things, man, and you look, you was made let's read on to that. It says, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used, man. Right? So, hey, you became a gazing stock to the world, you know what I'm saying? You became different, right? You became the odd man out, right? The so-called black sheep. Right? People couldn't understand the way you were moving. That's a beautiful thing. Because you are not of this world, man. You were chosen out of this world. Right? You put off the conversation of the old man, and you put him in the grave, and you chose to move forward and follow after Mashiach Yahushua, man. And get yourself together in those days. Right? Remember that time when you were illuminated to get back to that status and that feeling of, hey, man, I got to continue to press towards this mark. I got to keep going to the finish line. Right? Because if you fall back looking backwards like Lot's wife did, then you're going to end up entangling yourself back into the affairs or the ways of the world. and you're going to be destroyed. And the Lord said, look, once you got illuminated and you got the information that you are an Israelite, that you are God's chosen, that you are God on this earth, you're a prince, you're a princess on this earth, right? And you got to walk this certain way. You got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And then if you forfeit that and you go back, you're going to be worse than what you were. Your destruction is going to be it's going to be worse, man. Everything is going to fail. Without the Most High, you're nothing, right? You got to remember the times before that and remember when you were illuminated, and how it felt to you and what you should do and what was required for you to keep fighting that race. Right, let's get a precept real quick. Let me go to 2 Peter real quick. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2. And I'm gonna start at verse 17. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 17. It says, "These are wells without water, clouds that are carried without tempest, to whom the midst of darkness is reserved for forever." It says, "For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lusts of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error." So once, you being cleaned and separated from those that are in error, man. Because once you were still dirty in the world, just like the rest of these people, but now you escape those that are in error. It says, "While they promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same he is brought in bondage," man. Right? And they can go into, brothers teaching or sisters telling their sisters, look, you're an Israelite, right? You God's chosen. You got to separate. You got to keep the commandments. But yet you yourself are captured back into that same bondage or going back into that old corrupted man. Right? It says, "While they promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption. For whom a man is overcome, of the same he is brought in bondage. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world, through the knowledge of the Lord, of Mashiach Yahushua, they are again entangled therein and overcome, and the latter end is worse than them that the beginning," man. So you don't want to get entangled back into the world, man. You looking back like Lot's wife and you going back and indulging in the same things that you once were doing, right? Giving heed to the flesh more than to the spirit, man. The Lord says those that sow to the flesh reap corruption, right? And that's what he's talking about, man. You're going to receive that corruption by the deeds of you sowing to your fleshly desires, man. You're supposed to abstain from those things, the worldly pollutions. And it says, "For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them," man. It would have been better for you not to even know this thing, man, if you stop and you start looking back like Job and Job's wife. I mean, Shalakia, like Lot's wife, right? You got it would be better for you not to have known this thing, man. Right? So you have to keep in mind that, look, I've been this far. The Lord has been carrying me. Every morning his judgments have come to light, man, and he's renewed his mercies every morning. He's allowed me to get to this point to repent, to keep moving in his truth, able to deal in another Passover, to partake of the blood and the body of a Mashiach. So now it's time for me to press hard, even harder. Keep moving, man. Right? And to keep really, fighting these battles. Equipping me with the spirit to, fight the wiles of Satan, man. Right? That's what we got to remember, man. We got to lay a hold on what's coming ahead, which is the kingdom, man, the salvation for our people. And that everlasting rulership and that love of Mashiach Yahushua from the Most High God. All right, let's get another precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Job. Right, let's go to Job 41 and verse 8. It says, lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle, do no more, man. Right, so that's playing upon tables, man. Lay your hand upon a Mashiach, man, and move forward. Remember the battle which you've gone through, man. The sins, the fighting those demons, the persecution of the worldly people, all these things, man. Remember that battle, and don't touch that no more. Right? Don't go back into that. Right? Have that mind to work towards the kingdom. Have that mind to build up your people, to build up your spirit, to build up your household, man. Know that the Most High is always with you. Fight those wicked thoughts, man, when Satan comes to attack you, man. Don't sit and wait for it. Fight. Equip yourself with the spirit, with the scriptures, with the knowledge, the understanding. Surround yourself with righteous men and women. Right? Love your people. Love the commandments that the Most High has given, man. Right? And know that the Lord is fighting for you. Know that it's just not all about you. It's about your people, your family, your nation. That you must do these things not just for you, but for your people, especially you brothers, man. If you're a head of a household, it's not about you. If you fall, then your people fall, man. Your wife, your children, they fall. So you have to keep that in remembrance to look, man. Hey, I got to lay a hold on a Mashiach's coattail, man, and I got to ride that wave to the end. Right? Let's get another precept real quick. Let's go. All right, let me get a couple more. Let's go to Nehemiah, chapter 4, and verse 14, and it reads, and I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses, man. You got to remember the Lord. He's much more greater and terrible than these damn demons, man, than these worldly people, man. Your thoughts, the sins that try to ail you. The Lord is more great than those things. He's powerful. You got to lay a hold on the Lord and take his charge, right? And fight. It says, fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters and your wives and your houses, man. You got to fight for all that in these last days. You got to go in, and do what you got to do. And keep fighting. Endure to the end. That's the ultimate goal. Enduring to the end. Right? Lay a hold of that good word, that faith in the Lord, that righteousness. And ride the wave right on into the kingdom, man. It's going to be hard. It's a lot of affliction that you have to endure. But nevertheless, the Lord said he didn't give you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. That you can do it. If you believe. If you put your hand to the plow and you don't look back. Because if you look back, you will not be fit for the kingdom. So don't think that you have obtained anything as of yet. As long as you wake up and you see yourself in this captivity, Babylon the Great, it's still a fight. Let's get one more precept, man. I'm going to close it out. Right, let's go to the book of Philippians. Right. Let's go to Philippians. We're going to go to Philippians chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 13, and it reads, I'll start at verse 12, and it reads, not as though I have already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after that I may apprehend it, that for which also I am apprehended of a Mashiach. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. So continue to press towards that mark and fight, right? We are not at the end. We are in the midst of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Keep purging out the leaven and fighting for the kingdom. But with that, hope it was edifying. Giving our honor, glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shalom.